going on, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's happy, having a happy Super Bowl Sunday. Today is the day, and we are all here. We're all excited. So, I decided to do this live stream just because I know tonight everybody's going to be busy watching the Super Bowl. And I said, you know what? Let's do this because we have to talk about this. And of course, we have to talk about DC and what's going on with the Super Bowl. You might be like, what the hell? These two don't have anything in common, but yes, they do. Yes, they do. They do have a lot in common, and we're going to be talking about it because, as always, I've been telling you and I've been bringing you the facts, and I've been letting you know what the deal is and what's been going on with this whole mess and all this nonsense that's been going on over at DC and stuff like that. And of course, the Super Bowl is not going to disappoint us because, of course, the Super Bowl, everybody's tuning in today. Everybody's just talking about it. Everybody's watching it and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody's enjoying it and stuff like that. I'm not a sports person. I was invited to a few, parties and stuff like that, but just I'm not into sports, so it is what it is. But I'm here just hanging out with y'all and stuff like that. I am looking forward to the trailers for the halftime tonight. So this is going to be good and this should be really fun and it's going to be interesting. Make sure to hit the subscribe if you're new to my channel. If you're first discovering it, drop a comment, share the video, all that good stuff, because we have to make everybody aware of all the situation that's going on at DC and everything that's going on under the piss poor leadership of James Gunn. I call it how it is. Some people are going to like it, some people are not. It is what it is. But these are the facts. You already know what's up. So, with that being said, let's talk about a few things because you're like, let's get to the point, and I don't want to hold anybody up from tonight. Look, let's be honest. We've been seeing a lot of things that's been cracking, and there's a lot of things that are coming out, and I'm excited. I cannot wait. I, for one, I'm excited to see what Marvel's going to put with the official trailer for tonight for Avengers Doomsday. So that's for sure going to come out. We already know we're going to see a Spider-Man trailer, all that goodness. Now, let's talk about a few things because today I mainly have about 8 things I really want to talk about. And like I said, this is very important to what we're, fighting for and what we're trying to show off and, try to focus on and stuff like that. So, with that being said, let's start with the first thing. All right. So, first things first, we've seen that Zack Snyder has been very active on social media, and that's no surprise. And we're seeing this right here that he posted this picture, and everybody on the internet is like, hey, we want to see a Ben Affleck standalone feature film of the Batfleck movie. This was originally supposed to be the Batman before we got the crap with Matt Reeves and everything that has to do, with Robert Pattinson and all that trash. I'm not a fan of that. This right here is the Batman right here. Say what you want, but this is the fact. I've never seen this picture before. I don't even know where it's from, honestly. This is probably a picture that Zack just had, in his archives. And this looks dope. This looks awesome. This looks badass. This looks amazing. And I'm actually interested to see what Zack is going to cook. And we already know he's going to come back for The Dark Knight Returns. This right here is all teasing and hinting at what's to come once he comes back at WB, DC, and whatever the hell's going to happen with this whole sale and whatever it is that has to do. But I'm telling you right now, this right here is the Batman. This right here is what people want. And I am excited for that. Exactly. I agree with you. This is the true Batman. This right here was supposed to be the Batman movie that we were supposed to get. But of course, WB with their piss poor decisions, they did what they did, and it is what it is. And this is where we are right now. But just seeing this, it just captures that. I mean, this right here gives a lot of vibes of Michael Keaton's in the first 89 movie of Batman. This is dark. This is amazing. This is cinema right here. Remember when Batman Returns shows up? I think it was like when he's on the rooftop or somewhere. I think in the warehouse or something. There's a shot that looks something like this, and I like this. I like what what Zack is doing with Ben on this one because it gives those vibes. I mean, Batman's supposed to be a character of the shadow, so this right here is like, yo, you imagine seeing that? Like you're about to face this right here. It's like, yo, that's scary. That's intimidating. And that's what Batman's supposed to be, a symbol of he's about to kick your ass type of thing. So that's the amazing thing of when it comes to this. Yeah, exactly. That is Batman right there. And it's amazing to see what we're seeing and what, Zack Snyder was cooking and everything that, has to do with his Batman and things like that. So I can't wait to see once Zack is back and what he's going to fully cook with the Snyderverse, and we will be seeing Ben Affleck back again as Batman in The Dark Knight Returns. I am 100% convinced that Zack is returning soon. We don't know when, but he's going to be back. And I'm telling you, he's going to be cooking 100% with Ben Affleck and everything that has to do with Ben Affleck and the DCEU, the Snyderverse. And I am all here for it. This is going to be incredible. This is going to be amazing. And we cannot wait because soon we're all going to see that. It's just a matter of time. So let's go to the next thing that we got to talk about because, again, look, let's be real. This is not new news. This is old news, all right? But apparently, again, this right here is just telling you the state of DC and Warner Brothers, all right? If DC was so successful, James Gunn and everything that they're doing, they wouldn't be doing this. Look at this. You have WB that they're selling 10 working Batmobiles for 3 million a piece. When you do the math, 3 times 10, what do you got? 30 million. They need money. It's telling you that they need money. They are desperate. They're trying to capitalize any way possible. And of course, they're doing replicas and stuff like that. So, they're just trying to make money any way possible. But this shows you that WB is financially doing bad. They are not succeeding in anything at the moment. And this is not overnight. This has been a few years in the making, and it's all caught up. And this is why you're seeing the studio desperately trying to recuperate money and trying to get money here and there, however they can and stuff like that. But that's just showing you. That's just showing you that they are not succeeding. On the contrary, they are underperforming. And who's the one to blame? James Gunn, of course. That's why it's telling you. And a lot of people are like, yeah, if they had the money, they would buy it too. They would too. So that's what it is. It's just showing you that, yeah, they need money. And again, they're trying to milk anything with Batman. But this is where they are right now. It's funny. It's funny because it's like they're just trying to make money one way or the other. And even like that, like I said, this is not new news. This is just a reminder of what they're going through. It looks like they're struggling to sell these Batmobiles because people don't believe in the brand anymore. People just don't care about WB like that no more. So for them to still be sitting on inventory at literally, they're lowballing it. 3 million a car. I mean, they're working, it's functional. You imagine that? That's got to be amazing to the people that can afford it and stuff like that. But even like that, they're struggling. So for them to have 10 Batmobiles, we don't know if it's the Christopher Nolan version. We don't know if it's what version. The point is that they're selling these Batmobiles, all right, working and everything. And for them not to be selling them is just showing you, hey, yeah, they're struggling. They are struggling. They need money. And, we're going to get to all that by the end of this video. Trust me, you will see why I'm bringing all of this up. Because do the math, like I said, 3 million times 10 Batmobiles, you got 30 million that you're sitting on, that you're trying to capitalize and you're trying to make money and stuff like that. So telling you that is just showing you that's the shape that WB is in right now. So it's unfortunate, but that's what they chose, and this is where they are. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, so apparently Clayface has been delayed. Not a big thing, but trying to see what they're trying to do. I'm seeing what they're trying to go after. So at the same time, this doesn't look good on them. I'll be honest with you. All right, it was supposed to be Clayface was supposed to be released September 11th this year. All right, probably because of the date, whatever. That's why they're moving it. I don't know. I don't care. Not my problem. The point is, don't announce something if it's not going to come out on that day. And I get it. Things have to get delayed and stuff like that. But these people have the team. They literally have the team to make this production, put these projects together, and do everything that has to do for whatever, a movie, a comic book, whatever it is. They have the right people. It's just that they don't know how to go about on it, and they're falling behind on dates. So from them to move to September to October 23rd, I think because a lot of people are saying because it's supposed to be like a horror, quote unquote, they're trying to aim it to capitalize for October because of Halloween and stuff like that. So we already know that when Venom came out, the first movie, they released it in the month of October and they were able to make some money and stuff like that. So it is what it is. They made some money with that movie and that was a win for them. So that's good for them. Now DC's trying to do the same thing. They're trying to put Clayface as if it's going to be a Halloween type of movie. But We'll see what's gonna happen. And again, we already know that James Gunn is the one that gives notes and he's overseeing all these projects over at DC. So let's not forget what he did with the R-rated Joker 2. All right. We know the first one made $1 billion. The second one, hey, it underperformed. See what I did there? It underperformed. That's why I'm telling you, it was a flop. Therefore, Superman was also a flop. So, and the James Gunn shows are losing it. They are going bananas because they don't like to hear that. But that's the fact. That's what it is. Yeah. Looking at what Clayface is going to look like, I'm just not convinced about this movie, honestly. I don't care if it's a strong R-rated movie. I don't care. I'm just not interested. Me personally, I don't give two shits about it. A lot of people don't either, and they're just fed up with this. This is gonna be another cash grab, and they know it because it's of course WB. People just don't believe in the brand. They just don't. They've lost all confidence, and it's understandable. We're seeing that merchandise is not selling still for Superman, and the tickets struggled. They barely made their budget, and they're chanting a victory, meaning the studio saying, "Hey, look, as long as we got what we got, that's all that matters." They made their budget, and they're gonna do the same thing with Supergirl. And they're gonna do the same thing with Clayface. As long as they make their budget back, they're gonna be like, you know what? It's still okay. We consider it a success. Ridiculous, complete ridiculous. Hell yeah, we all want our refund from everything James Gunn has robbed us, and from the beginning of the Suicide Squad. Yeah, yeah, we really want our refunds. I'm telling you, nobody's interested about this. Nobody cares about this, and nobody's really looking forward to it. I'm telling you, Clayface is going to underperform. I think that's going to be the new word that we're going to start using moving forward. It's going to underperform worse than Supergirl. Supergirl is going to do worse, and it's going to underperform. Let me say that again. Supergirl and Clayface will both underperform than James Gunn's Superman. It's going to do worse. It's going to do worse. And people are not excited. I'm telling you. You will see once we get close that these movies are not going to make high numbers. And WB is going to try to justify it. I'm telling you in advance, they're going to be like, as long as we make back our budget, we're okay with it. We don't need to make $1 billion. We just need to surpass our budget. As long as we make an extra, then it's a success. Because that's how WB are. They always like to make up excuses. And these James Gunn fans, the same thing. The excuses are insane of everything after that video with Ted, the CEO of Netflix, exposing and saying that Superman 2025 underperformed. In other words, it flopped. It wasn't a financial success. And they're coming out saying, oh, but this and but that. It didn't make the numbers that they wanted. It underperformed, period. That's it. Sinners made more money and it got more theatrical time than the crap of James Gunn. But that's what it is. And this is where we are. All right, so let's move forward. Let's see the next thing. All right, so here we have Sellout Momoa. All right, that's what I call him, Sellout Momoa. The moment he jumped ship over to James Gunn, he's a sellout. He is. Let's be real. And before anybody comes at me and tells me, hey, but once the Snyderverse gets restored, we still need Jason Momoa as Aquaman. No, the hell we don't. No, we don't. I'm going to remind you, right? Where did things leave off in the Snyder Cut? Jason Momoa's character, Aquaman, got taken out by Darkseid. Period. That's the future event and the things that happen. Where did the Snyder Cut end up at? With Mara, the beautiful and lovely Amber Heard, replacing Aquaman. That's why she's after revenge for what Darkseid did to Arthur in the movie, also known as Aquaman. He's done. We don't need him. Once the Snyderverse gets restored, let me repeat that. When the Snyderverse gets restored, we do not need Aquaman anymore. All right? Things have to pick up and continue where Zack Snyder left off. Mara now has taken the trident. She's literally holding the trident from Aquaman. And that's why she tells Batman, I want to spear him through the heart for what he did, meaning Darkseid, to Aquaman. That's where things are left off. That's what people have to understand. Sellout Momoa is not needed. His contract is expired, if you want to say. And I'm telling you, that's what we want. All right. What is he saying about Lobo? Oh, he finally got the role. That's the role, the dream job that he wanted. All right. Kudos to him. Whatever. Sellout. But look at what he's saying. I only know Lobo is in this one, meaning Supergirl. And so we'll see what the future of all this holds. I would love for his own thing to be coming out. He doesn't even know the future of him as Lobo at DC. Woo! What is this telling you? Oh, he's emphasizing it. So we'll see what the future of all that, meaning this of Supergirl, holds for him. He doesn't even know. So you're going to tell me you gave up a badass character, Aquaman. You made $1 billion with that character just because you need work and you, quote unquote, now run with gun. This movie's going to tank. And this also will smear his career. I'm sorry, but that's the fact. That's the reality. And nobody's going to see this trash. Not enough people are going to go see it. You're going to have those 10 same James Gunn fans go out and do the fake sales of the tickets. They're going to go out, buy like 20 tickets just so it could look like, oh, look, we're selling tickets. And then when we see pictures of nobody in the movie theaters, yeah, we're going to see what's going to come from that. I'm telling you, people know what's up. People are not dumb. People know what's up. They're waking up. They're realizing and they're seeing everything that's coming from all of this. I can't wait to see what excuses are going to come out once they see how Supergirl tanks at the box office. Let me rephrase that. Supergirl is going to underperform worse than than James Gunn's 2025 Superman. I'm telling you, that's all that we know for sure, and that's going to seriously damage his career more than what it is and stuff like that. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to see all the excuses from all the shills. Exactly. Ben and Gal are loyal, including Henry Cavill. They're loyal. They're still there waiting. They're gonna come back. I'm telling you. That's all that matters. We know that Ray Fisher too. Don't think that he's not. Oh hell yeah, he is. And to all the chills that are out there and saying, "Oh well, CS supports Ezra Miller as the Flash." Let me remind you, hell yeah, I do. This is a fake character. This is a fake world. This is fantasy. It's not real. If you're getting triggered because I want Ezra Miller as the Flash to continue, hell yeah, for the sake of continuity. Y'all not talking smack about James Gunn and all those disgusting files and pictures of him, right? Oh, but that we don't talk about, right? But it's a problem when I say, yeah, I want Ezra to continue as the Flash in the Snyderverse. What the hell? That's still my Flash and a lot of Flashes. So, I'm so sick and tired of hearing excuses from people, just trying to justify something because they're all in their feelings and trying to compare what's real and what's not. And these actors and their real lives, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Let's be real. This is entertainment. All we care about is entertainment. I don't care what they do in their personal life. And I'm telling you straight up, when it comes to the cinematic universe, I just want to see the same people reprise their roles and continue. If their character died in the movie, they're done. Let's move on to the next one. If you're going forward with another character, so be it. Just what it is, that's what it is. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to see things are changing. And of course, we already know that, with Jason Momoa as Lobo, I mean, hey, more power to you. But even he's saying that he's going to see. In other words, I don't know what's going to happen after this movie. We'll see. We will see. Exactly. Ezra Miller is even loyal to Zack. Indeed, he is. Indeed, he is, but that's what it is. All right, so let's move forward to the next thing. All right, so here's a reminder also that Netflix co-CEO confirms James Gunn's Superman reboot underperformed. That's it. The James Gunn fans have been losing their mind. And this is the funny part. They tag me, all right? A bunch of them tag me unnecessarily. They just want clout. They want attention. And when they see that I respond, it's like they're calling me out. But then when I respond, it's like they want to come at me and they want to, always try to flip something and flip it and still play the victim. That's how they are. You can't come at these clowns with evidence, with facts, or anything proving them wrong. Because then they like to label me and say, oh, but but it doesn't fit your narrative. They always like to pull that card. If I'm not agreeing with them, I never fit the narrative. It's always some BS. And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I really don't care, honestly. The fact is that James Gunn's Superman underperformed. And that's it. It underperformed. And that's all that matters. I'm telling you straight up. Straight up. you know? And seeing how all this mess with James Gunn is, nothing is working. Nothing. No matter what they try to put, nothing. Nothing, absolutely nothing is working. And that's just showing you. Yeah, Lanterns is not going to be a great show either. It's going to be another disaster, and barely anybody's going to watch that. But that's what it's, showing you what's to come and everything that's already unfolding and stuff like that. So the damage is already done. It's been done a while ago, but this is where we are right now. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, the big top three that we're going to talk about today. All right, so being the Super Bowl today's the big event that everybody's tuning in, right? Tonight. I think it starts like what, like at 7 or something like that. I don't know, because like I said, I'm not into sports, so pardon me. But the main thing I want to focus on is this new Supergirl teaser to debut on this year's Super Bowl. Oh, hold on. I misread that. Not this year's Super Bowl, at the Puppy Bowl. Let's not forget who did the same trash last year. That's right, James Gunn. James Gunn last year put Superman and trying to market it with Crypto, the dog, because of the Puppy Bowl. Because everybody's gonna be watching dogs instead of the actual Super Bowl, right? People are more interested in dogs than they are with football and everybody hanging out with the friends, family, whatever, and just hanging out, right? Ridiculous. Just because WB owns part of the Puppy Bowl, this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then they wonder why they don't have money. And then they wonder why they don't get views. And then they wonder why the hell nothing is working. Because instead of them focusing on the Super Bowl, oh, but that's right. WB can't afford to pay for the ad in the Super Bowl. So they'll rather go with the cheapest low budget route, which is the Puppy Bowl. That's why. They are not focused on the Super Bowl. They're not trying to reach out to the fans. They are straight up reaching out to just regular people. That's it. They don't even have an audience for Supergirl. Again, the same pattern is repeating with Superflop 2025. Oh, let's focus on the Puppy Bowl. And you better believe James Gunn's going to be all over that ad, because James Gunn always wants the attention. He's probably going to have the director there, and he's going to probably have the director somewhat, like probably like 2 seconds, and he's going to make the director do a cameo for Supergirl, and James Gunn's going to take the whole spotlight. Or they're probably going to put Millie Alcock with some dogs and probably Crypto, trying to focus on Crypto, because of course that dog's going to be in this new movie. Look, I love dogs. I love animals, but I don't love them that much. I really don't, And today, people are going to be focusing on the football game. People want to drink beer. People want to eat. They want to just chill, relax. They don't care about this right now. People just want to see good trailers in the halftime. They want to see good entertainment during the halftime. And that's what we're going to be seeing tonight. I can't wait to see what they're going to be cooking with these trailers. Woo! Today's going to be insane with all these trailers. I can't wait. But it's just showing you that they're focused more on the Puppy Bowl instead of the Super Bowl. What is that telling you? Give me a second while I get some water and stuff like that. What is this telling you? Again, that WB doesn't have the money like they used to anymore. They just don't. This is just telling you people don't care. And the same way that people don't care, look, honestly, the money's not there. That's what it is. It's not there. And in due time, I'm telling you, things are going to change. They're shifting. Things are straight up moving. And like I spoke about it in the beginning of this video, with that picture of Ben Affleck with Zack Snyder, with Batman, that's just telling you, I'm telling you, the Dark Knight returns, the DCEU will return, and most of all, the Snyderverse will return. And that's what the James Gunn fans can't put up with. They can't handle the truth. They don't like about it that we're exposing them and putting them on blast. That's why I make these videos, to let you know, hey, this is what they're more focused on instead of what we really want. So instead of them focusing on the Super Bowl while the whole world is watching, exactly, capital WTF, the Puppy Bowl. Really? This is what they're doing? The Puppy Bowl again? Again, this is following the same footsteps of 2025. And I'm telling you right now, we all know it and we see disaster coming around the horizon. Supergirl with Millie Alcock 2026 this year will also underperform at the box office. That's a fact. I'm telling you, it's going to underperform. And like I said, that's going to be the new word we're going to be using moving forward, because it sounds very professional for the word of it flopped. They just don't like to hear it. The James Gunn cultists don't like to hear the facts, and that is the fact that Superman 2025 and now Supergirl 2026 will also join the underperforming, you know, theatrical release, if you want to say. Oh, this is going to be hilarious and it's going to be beautiful. Seeing all the excuses that they have. Now, let's move on to the next one. What's the same thing? Warner Brothers will not release a new trailer for Supergirl during the Super Bowl. This came out within the past week and a half or so. And again, I felt that today was the perfect time to put this out here and let you know that this is what they want. This is exactly what WB wants. They don't care about targeting the Super Bowl where people are actually watching. They care about the Puppy Bowl because it's cheaper. That's what it is, you know? So by them doing that, yeah, it's a complete downgrade, a massive downgrade. Wow, even the marketing is looking very bad. I'm telling you straight up. That is telling you a lot. Completely. Completely. Yep. I agree with you. WB so broke. They have to resort to this crap. And it gets worse. It gets worse because I'm saving the best one for last, my friends. I am saving that juicy one article. Well, kind of like a post like this one. And we're about to get into it in a few minutes. So I can't wait. I really can't wait to see what we're all gonna be talking about this one. But it's true. WB so broke they have to resort to this crap. I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh, I still have to work on those shirts. I just been very occupied this weekend. I've been so busy. I'm working on the comic on my issue 2, and I'm like a little bit delayed on that. So I'm really trying to catch up with a lot of stuff and personal stuff. So, we're gonna see with all of that and stuff like that. Let's see. Any updates with Paramount? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Things just keep going back and forth. Who knows what the hell's gonna happen? Honestly, we're gonna see what's gonna happen and come from all that. So, you got Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman on Blu-ray. They're so amazing. Yes, they are. They are amazing. That is true, my friend. That is true. But this is where we are with with James Gunn and his famous DCU. James Gunn fans are dumb as shit. They can go to hell. I agree with you. I agree with you because they love to insult and say everything, but then when you put out the facts, oh, it's a problem, right? They love to play the victim. They always love to play the victim. We already know how these shills are. We know how they are, and what type of shady moves they all like to do. But it is what it is. But again, we don't know what's gonna happen. We're still waiting with the sale. We'll see. We'll see. Time's gonna tell, and we'll start finding out as we get closer and things like that. But this is the state of DC again. WB is not going to release a new trailer for Supergirl. So don't expect to be like, hey, they're going to put something new out there. Nah, they're not going to do that. They're not. I just brought you the posts. I've been bringing you the updates. And hey, this is all just like last year. The same thing that they did last year. Marketing crypto worked so well last time. Exactly. Exactly. I get the sarcasm in that post. But we are getting a sequel. LOL. That exactly what the James Gunn fans love to say. Oh, but we're getting a sequel. Oh, where's your DC Snyderverse? Oh, it's always the same thing. Rinse, wash, and repeat. And they're always like, oh, we're getting a sequel that we're also going to make underperform at the box office. Keep trying us. I'm telling you, we are going to show you once again that the Snyderverse community is and will always be the majority when it comes to WB and DC properties. You will see Superman 2025, after what, 12 years, 13 years after Man of Steel, wasn't able to beat Justice League. Justice League, think about that. That's from Joss Whedon. It underperformed. And Joss Whedon's Justice League was garbage. But what is that telling you? People were more interested in that, at least, instead of James Gunn's Superman in 2025. So that just tells you, the state where the fans are and where people are at and stuff like that. So it is what it is, but what can we do? And like I said, we're about to start talking about the real juicy one right now because that's the one I'm really waiting for right now, and I can't wait so we can start talking about that. I'm just trying to catch up with the comments so we can see everybody and stuff like that. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting. Yeah, exactly. And yep, it is exactly about that what we're gonna be talking about right now, Eric. You will see. I know some of y'all have seen it, but to the ones that haven't, I'm telling you, we are going to be in for a big special treat. But at the same time, nothing that James Gunn tries to do is going to help this movie. Nothing at all. I'm telling you right now. Nothing that James Gunn has tried to do isn't going to help or straight up work with this production. And James Gunn's trying to clean his hands. So when Supergirl does flop at the box office and it underperforms, he's gonna be like, "Well, I can't be held accountable." Dude, you're helping. You're behind the scenes. You're the You're the CEO of DC Studios. Of course, you have a lot of blame and responsibility. What is that telling you? You're allowing all of these productions to come out. With that being said, let's move to the next thing. This is the one that I've been waiting to talk about right here. So, Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman vs Superman composer Junkie XL will score the music for Supergirl. This is how desperate James Gunn is. This is how desperate the DCU is. This is how desperate WB and DC are. You don't want to restore the Snyderverse. You don't want to give us Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. You don't want to give us anything that we keep on asking for. Oh, but you love to put out merchandise from the Snyderverse. And now you have the audacity to reach out to Junkie XL and say, hey, here's a check. How about you just join and sell out and also join the sellout campaign? Because this right here, Junkie XL is a sellout, just like sellout Momoa. I don't care what anybody tells me. There's plenty of work in Hollywood. He could have chose any other company, but no, he decided to jump ship and go with James Gunn. Some of you might be like, oh, but he was with Zack Snyder. He did Rebel Moon, and he's done other movies with Zack Snyder and the Snyder Cut. And all of a sudden, you're saying he's a traitor? Yes. Yes, I did. And just like Joker said, and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. You know why? Because again, Junkie XL, also known as Tom Hulkenberg, whatever his name is, what options did he had? He could have gone to Disney. He could have gone and done other films at WB. He could have done stuff for Paramount like he's done. He's worked with so many companies. Why the hell, knowing, because I'm sure that Junkie XL is on social media constantly. And I know because he gets posts where people are like, yo, we need you also part of the Snyder Cut. And I mean, the Snyderverse and stuff. If you know that there's a huge demand, why are you going to add gas to the fire? And that's what he's doing by doing this. I get it. He's a music composer. He needs, money. But how come we don't see Hans Zimmer working with James Gunn? I'm sure that James Gunn has probably approached Hans Zimmer and said, hey, make us and score us some music. And I guarantee you, Hans Zimmer's like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that to my friend Zack Snyder. I just can't. That would be disrespectful. So now to me, this is a form of betrayal. Because it's like, dude, you literally could have chosen to go work with any other studio and you could have composed any other, movie. But no, you know that there's, if you want to say like a civil war between DC, because you have all these fans going at it. Let's be real. Let's say how it is. Let's not sugarcoat shit. Let's be real. We have fans with DCU against the DCEU. That's a civil war because it's the same company, the same brand, IP, all that shit, right? And you know that they're going at it among each other. It's like WB's like, you know what? Let's cause more drama. That's what they are. They're a drama company. They love that shit. And Junkie XL composing music for Supergirl, I guarantee you, just like he did for Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon has music that was supposed to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. And they used those files for Rebel Moon. That was fine. I could guarantee you that there's still music out there that Junkie XL has for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, 3, or whatever, and they're just there on standby. So he's like, you know what? Hey, I got these available. And probably WB said, hey, let's use them. Let's use them so we could get these Snyder fans because we need their money. Fuck that. Fuck you, WB. We're tired. We're not supporting your shit. Stop trying to fuck with us and continue to milk us. Anybody that says, "Oh, I'm a Snyder fan, but I'm still gonna support James Gunn and his DCU." And look, we have Junkie XL. He made music for Justice League and Batman versus Superman. Fuck that. I am not compromising. And don't try to make me change my mind. I'm tired of people telling me to compromise. Fuck that. I am not compromising shit. And neither should you. Enough is enough. When the fuck do we draw the line and say, yeah, enough with this garbage? This is what the studio wants. They don't give a fuck about us. So why the fuck should we give a fuck about them? Let's be real. We have the money. You want to see Supergirl tank at the box office? Don't watch that shit. Don't watch it. And if my channel gets literally all of a sudden, like the video gets, like it's gone right now, it's because they're pulling the plug on it because they're trying to silence me. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of these fake fans. I'm not even labeling these fake fans as quote unquote real DC fans. Fuck that. A real DC fan doesn't tolerate this. A fake DC fan tolerates this. Oh, it's okay for Jason Momoa to go ahead and play Lobo because that's who he wanted to be. Oh, it's okay for Junkie XL to go ahead and jump ship. No, it's pick and choose which one. There's a line. Because if all this shit wasn't the way it is, James Gunn brought this upon the company. How? James Gunn, since the beginning of the Suicide Squad to where we are right now, what did he do? He has been deleting, erasing, and trying to completely throw everything that's with David Ayer stuff, Zack Snyder connected, away and not connected. What is James Gunn doing? He's retconning shit. So if you're retconning shit, what are you trying to do? You're trying to hide and replace things with things that weren't there, but all of a sudden they are. Wake up, people. They're just trying to play with us. Literally. No more excuses. These fake DC fans just want us to settle for whatever slop that they're putting out. Everything that DC has been putting out after Zack Snyder has not worked. Again, these are the facts. The proof is here. The Suicide Squad from James Gunn was the worst performing DC product that he's put out. The worst. It's so bad that how come in James Gunn's Superman 2025, they couldn't even acknowledge from the director of the Suicide Squad. Nah. WB was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do what we've always wanted to do. Oh, y'all really want to push it, huh? Y'all really want to milk that Marvel MCU bullshit here, huh? From the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. Fuck me. You literally had to do that, right? From the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn's Superman. It was so controversial and it was so much backlash that WB on the second trailer said, nah, we got to take that down because everybody's putting us on blast. That's what they're doing. They're mocking us. They're making fun of us. They're disrespecting us. And some fans are okay with that. I've put out polls saying, would you be okay as a fan if Zack Snyder comes back and James Gunn is there? And it's a shame to see that a lot of fans said yes. It's a fucking shame to see that. James Gunn, he doesn't care about any of us. He doesn't care about these characters. He said it himself. But some of y'all are okay with like, yo, I don't care as long as we get anything. That's good with me. Nah, that's the reason why this company is the way it's at right now. Because of fake fans like that. I'm sorry to say it, but that's just how it is. When you do not compromise and you do not open your wallets and you keep your wallets closed, we win. We win. Zack Snyder said it himself. There's a video with Harsh Critics. Shout out to Harsh Critics. What's up? He put out a video and he even said it. I remember hearing it a few months ago where Zack himself said it. The only reason we got the Snyder cut, you know why? It's not because of the pandemic and all that shit. It was because WB was tired of hearing the fans asking constantly left and fucking right, up and down, in the air, in the water, fuck, wherever you go, release the Snyder cut. So WB called Zack Snyder and said, hey, let's release it because we're tired of the fans. They keep on asking and we got to give them what they want because they won't stop. And now it's even worse because I told y'all, we will stop at nothing until we get the Snyderverse restored. Zack Snyder knows what he's doing by putting these pictures on social media. Zack knows what's up. I would love for Zack to be listening to this. I would love for David Ayer to be listening to this. They're probably like, yo, you probably say the shit that we want to say. That's what I'm here for. To voice it and say it. Fuck you, WB. You fucked up the moment you turned your back from us, the fans, customers, and consumers, and you turned your back from Zack Snyder and David Ayer. And you gave us all the bullshit that you gave us, starting with Birds of Prey. This month literally marks 6 years that we got that shitty ass film, Birds of Prey, with Christina Hudson. How trash was that movie? Garbage. Garbage. But let's move forward with that. And then fast forward time, where are we right now? Nothing at WB is working. Nothing. James Gunn is not the solution. He's never been the solution. You want to rewind that shit? Joss Whedon wasn't the solution. He didn't do shit with Justice League. You have two Marvel directors. You had the Avengers director. Oh, because they made $1 billion, they're gonna give Justice League $1 billion too. Nope, that shit didn't work. Oh, James Gunn, because he has a trilogy. He has Guardians of the Galaxy. He's gonna save DC. And where are we right now? Worse than where we were with Joss Whedon. Open your eyes and realize the facts are all there. WB with James Gunn is not achieving anything. They are not. With Zack Snyder, they were achieving everything. They had everything. They were winning. They were succeeding. There was people in the movie theaters and still coming in. It wouldn't stop. People were showing up. How can James Gunn's Superman underperform? Answer that, James Gunn cultists. How come that movie underperformed? Because people weren't interested. People were not interested. That's the fact. And now that today is the Super Bowl, WB and DC are like, yeah, you know what? Screw the Super Bowl, but there's millions upon millions, like The Rock would say in WWE, for the millions and millions of fans. If you watch WWE, you'll know what I'm talking about, more or less. It's just, But what is that telling you? All the people eyes are literally on the Super Bowl, but you can't even invest in your own product of Supergirl with the Superman. I mean, with Supergirl, you did the same play last year, and look at how that turned out. You underperform. You underperform. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, people are fed up. People have had enough. And it's showing you, it's telling you, this is where we are right now. This is the state that we are right now. When you have music composers, actors, actresses, everybody jumping ship from the Snyderverse, going over to James Gunn, you know what that is? That's career suicide, career damage. That's straight up destroying everything on your resume. Because when people start seeing that after these movies flop and tank, people are going to be like, yo, what the hell? What the hell, honestly? And that's just telling you. I'm going down the list. I'm not acknowledging like specific comments right now, so pardon me. I'm just going down talking as I'm posting and stuff like that. But it's just telling you the DCU is completely crumbling. It really is. Nothing is selling. They're not making money with James Gunn. They're losing money. And that's the part that confuses me. How the hell do you move forward with all these flops? How? The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker Season 2 did worse than Season 1. Creature Commandos, not even for free. People want to watch that shit. Superman underperformed. You have the CEO that's trying to buy from Netflix admitting in court under oath saying, yo, Superman 2025 had a shorter window in the theater because it underperformed. Accept it, James Gunn cultists. Your shit's not working. Stop making up excuses. Accept the fact. The DCU is over. It's done. Everything you keep putting out, we're going to make that shit flop. We're going to make it underperform. Supergirl is the next one on the list. And after Supergirl, it's going to be Clayface. And guess what? Before Clayface, it's probably going to be Lanterns. All that shit's going to get low views. People are not going to watch it. People are tired of that. People just want good movies. People want good quality. And that's what DC and WB are not doing. They're not giving us what we want. So why should we give us our money? Why should we give our money, our hard-earned money? Think about it. How hard do you work for your money? All the shit you got to put up with, right? Whatever job it is that you do. Maybe you're self-made. Good. Congrats to you. Whatever. But to the ones that are working, think about how hard you're trying and you get your money, right? Why are you going to keep on supporting a company that doesn't want to give you what you want? Think about that. No, James Gunn's not finally fired. Not yet. He will be though. That's what you got to look at and ask yourself. Why am I still supporting this company when this company really doesn't care about us? You know? So we'll see. We'll see. No, James Gunn's contract got extended to next year for the spring 2027. It was supposed to end this year. And that's what I'm telling you. Why is it getting extended? Why are we moving forward with flops instead of saying, hey, whoa, let's pump the brakes? This still isn't working. But why are they extending his contracts? For sure, the fall of James Gunn started in 2025. This year, it continues to fall and it's going to collapse. That's why. James Gunn isn't the solution. It's not. And WB and the fans have to realize, yo, in order for this to fully stop, we have to stop spending our money on all these movies. I get that some fans are like, hey, I want to see it. I'm a review channel. You know, I got to talk about it, content, blah, blah, blah. Look, no, you don't. You could talk about any other thing except this. You don't have to. You don't have to. Real talk. I'm going to tell you like they be saying in other channels and other live streams. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. What y'all think about that, chat? I'm telling you straight up. Real fans don't tolerate this bullshit. Real fans don't eat this slop. It's already proven. How many flops does it take? James Gunn was the biggest mistake that WB did by bringing him on board. It's telling you that, hey, they're not making money. They really are not. But yet that's what they want to continue to move forward. That's what it is. That's what they want to keep moving forward with. Supergirl is going to also underperform big time at the box office. I'm telling you, it's not going to deliver. On the contrary, it's going to underperform. And they know it. WB doesn't have faith in their IP anymore. They don't care. They don't care. This is why they're not moving forward with season 3 of Peacemaker. Because they know. They already tested the waters. They already know what's up. They're like, nah, you know what? Season 1 was kind of good. That's what they think. Season 2, nobody tuned in for that. Oh, no, we're not moving forward with season 3. Creature Commandos, barely anybody saw season 1. They put it on HBO Max. I think the HBO Max account uploaded it to YouTube in December 2025. And they were like, you know what? Nah, this shit didn't even get 1,000 views. Let's take it down now and save ourselves the embarrassment. I think it only got it was about under 700 views that it had, or something like 600 views, 700 views, something like that. So in less than 24 hours or about, they took it off. And they were like, yeah, nobody's watching it. Not even for free. So what's that telling you? But yet that shit gets to season 2. Exactly. That shit's getting to season 2. Let me remind the James Gunn cultists that are out there. All right. The only reason you're getting Superman, if we make it that far, Man of Tomorrow, the only reason you're getting Supergirl, Lanterns, and Clayface is because James Gunn is still under contract. As long as James Gunn is still under contract, guess what, clowns? You're going to keep getting all that slop. But guess what? We're not going to show up. And neither are you. Because on the internet, you appear to be big and bad. Oh, we're going to show up. We're the fans. We're going to show up. No, you're not. You didn't show up for Superman. How come you didn't show up for anything else? Y'all didn't show up and y'all were at home for Peacemaker season 2. Where are y'all? They're more focused on orgy scenes instead of action scenes and drama and whatever the real story is, right? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm telling you. It's just telling you, and it's just showing you that's where the state of DC is at. They turned literally DC into a whole comedy, a full-on comedy. What is that telling you? People don't care. Yeah, exactly. That's what they are. They're at home selling the 7 Cs. But they brought this upon themselves. Oh, but Superman's gonna make $1 billion. No, it didn't. Where's the $1 billion at? Not there. All these movies, all these shows, everything is showing you. You know what? Nobody cares about it. Nobody cares about it. James Gunn making excuses with the international box office. Exactly. That's who he is. He's a liar. He's a liar. So when James Gunn says that it's no, it means yes. And when he says yes, it means no. That's how he is. I've already caught on to his lies. And you should too. I'm telling you, this is insane with the way that this brand has become and what they've allowed. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. Exactly. Superman couldn't sell tickets, toys, or even coloring books. And I agree with you. I agree with you, my friend. You see that overstocked in everywhere you go in the clearance section. That's another one too. Jimmy Olsen. I completely forgot about that crap. Yet that's moving forward. They'll rather focus on that and silly stuff and stupid things that have nothing to do with this. James Gunn could have picked other universes and he decides to put that and focus on all that trash that nobody cares about. But this is where we are, right? And these fake DC fans are saying that they're eating good. I don't know how and what they're eating because honestly, it's just lies. Let's be real. Once we get Zack Snyder back, we are going to get the Ben Affleck movie that we all been waiting for. We should have got it years ago. This shit is overdue. This has been bubbling, waiting for the longest. And it's a shame that every year when we come across, what is it, Batman Day? And WB tried to be slick last year. They put everybody, they highlight everybody. And when it comes to the Snyderverse, they try to fast track that. Now, oh, let's just go fast. Let's not even talk about it. But guess what? You're part of history. You're still part of history. The Snyderverse will forever haunt WB. And it will forever be there in that history gap with the fans and with the brand. It doesn't matter what you try to do, it's always going to be there. And people are still going to be asking, talking about it, watching, rewatching, and buying that merchandise because it still has a fandom. That's what it is. That's what it is. James Gunn's contract isn't going to be around that much longer. That's the reality. You can say all you want, but everything has a limit. And that limit is already reached its breaking point. Now, if they do extend James Gunn's contract in 2027 after the one that they already have in spring, then capital WTF. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows what the hell's going to happen, honestly. All we know is until next year, spring of 2027. That's it. We know they're going to start filming whatever the hell they're doing, but nobody cares, honestly. The true Batman will return. And that's true. I agree with you. The true Batman is going to return. Look, now that you're bringing up Amanda Waller, notice how that hasn't moved. Nothing has happened with that. And now seeing those pictures with David Ayer and Zack Snyder, it convinces me and says, hey, maybe they told James Gunn, hell no, you can't use Amanda Waller because we got plans for her. Maybe what if with once we get the Ayer cut, things are still going to connect? We never know. I'm just speculating. I'm just saying. Superman Blu-ray and DVD are not selling. Yep, that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. Everywhere is overstocked, and even when it goes on clearance, it still doesn't sell. The point is, again, we see Zack Snyder posting, and people are more excited for this. We see Ben Affleck as the Batman, because that is the Batman. That's my Batman, honestly. I love Michael Keaton. I love his version of Batman, but Ben Affleck took it to another level, and yo, I want more of that. That's what I want, honestly. That's just telling you. Now, talking about Waller Show, James Gunn is canceled right now. I do want to point this out. They canceled Paradise Lost, the Wonder Woman show that they were gonna do. That's been canceled. All right, that came out. I just came across the post today somewhere and stuff like that. But I'm just letting y'all know it did get canceled. It's not moving forward because, of course, James Gunn feels that that's not going to fit in tone with whatever the hell he's doing with his reboot. And let's not forget, That was supposed to be with Gal Gadot. And let's not forget they had canceled Gal Gadot's game because she was supposed to be in that Wonder Woman game. And again, DC is just a mess. Things are not working. Things just continue to they just continue to just get worse. So this is just telling you. This is just telling you straight up. Um, and we got to see. We have to see what's gonna happen and stuff like that. Um, Again, things could change. Things can change overnight, and we have to see. We have to see what what's gonna happen. You know, the point is that Zack Snyder's making still and getting attention with his posts that he puts out there, and that's the important part. The important part is that we want Ben Affleck back as Batman. We're gonna see him again. There's no doubt in my mind. And everything that James Gunn's putting out is just not performing well. It's not making the numbers that they thought that they were gonna make. It's underperforming, and every time it's just getting worse and worse. So it's gonna get to a point where it's about to hit rock bottom, and a company could take and absorb so much financial loss that they're like, yeah, we're done. We are officially done. So who knows what's gonna happen? We have to still see what's gonna happen with the sale and everything that has to do with DC at the moment. But at the moment, again, we have to keep on fighting. We can't stop. We have to go harder. And let's not forget, next week, my friends, next Saturday, the 14th, yes, Valentine's Day, 214, because Zack Snyder's Justice League was supposed to be 2 hours and 14 minutes, is the big trending event for another Restore the Snyderverse 2026. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna show them. This is gonna be the second trending event because we did another one in January. That one wasn't all that. I don't know what happened, but this one's the big one that we do every year. So get ready because we're going to once again start flooding the internet with Restore the Snyderverse and everything that has to do with that greatness that we were promised and they stripped away and they just took away. Things are going to change, my friends. It's just a matter of time. With that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Let's see what trailers they're going to put out there because this should be fun. This should be interesting. And I can't wait because once it's done, we're going to be seeing a lot of videos. And I'm going to be having a lot of stuff to say. And we're going to go ham with this because, again, I can't wait for the halftime for tonight to see what trailers they're going to put out. Woo! We will stop at nothing. Keep your wallets closed and locked. And that's what it is. We will stop at nothing. Peace out, my friends. Enjoy the rest of your evening, day, wherever you are. And until next time.